I asked you once what the most beautiful word was. You told me to close my eyes so you could show me the strains of the world. When I opened them again, we were on the streets of Marrakesh, where the dust was as dry as an ocean unwept. We found a man in a market selling china cups. He held one to us and said, "At night, these look like swans floating on the dusk, and when you turn them to the moonlight, you can drink the stars. There is no word as vast as porcelain." We were cast to the shores of a Kenyan beach, where the childless woman stood like a vase, feet wet in the night, hands stretched to a waiting womb. As her eyes turned to ours, she spoke to the tide. "This hope is life, a bird set free," pulled the sleeve of her blouse, showed the word yearn as henna on her wrist. "There is none as beautiful as this," she whispered, as her eyes turned to silence in the wreaths of the night. We fell through her tears, moved to the benches of Moscow where an old man sat. He told us to hold out our hands, skin flat to the sky, to let the white land and melt to our heat, to count each flake and feel the hush, how each second passing is one closer to death. The word that forms my every breath is birth. I know none with worth like this. He spoke through the kiss of another Russian winter. We were spun to the slums of Delhi, traded bread with beggars for the breath of their thoughts. One such man, worn and weary, spoke deepest of them all. "My friends, I've seen a million suns rise on the parchment of these streets. I've seen its literature written with the blood of men and the tears of angels. I have thought things too great for words, have drained every possibility from this mind. I have filled libraries with my questions, and thus my dreams are empty. Yet one word fills every corner of my sleep. It is this word you seek. Come." We were undone to the forests of Bavaria, to the porch of a cabin where a logman sat. Held in his hands was a fallen branch, undressed and cut by the blade of his knife. "This wood tells stories," he told us. "Each line a rhythm, each pattern a dream. There's a song in every door frame and a journey in every beam." He spoke of the voices of the forest and the way leaves fall. And as he finished, he held up his craft. The word silence etched wet into the flesh of the wood. Next we stood on the edge of Times Square, made our way to a cafe and sat with our thoughts. There a waitress brought us coffee, and as we talked, slipped a folded note beneath the cups. It read, "My life is built from snapshots, faces and voices that never return. I once saw a man who looked like my father. The word you want for is somewhere," as she disappeared on the wings of an Atlantic storm. We were flung to the decks of an ocean trawler, soaked wet in the salt of unending waves. Crouched in the hub of a bow was a sailor who beckoned us to the cover of a canvas sheet. Thus he started to speak. "I have warred 1,000 oceans, battled the rage of the wildest squalls. I have lost life to the wrath of nature, seen sights that have caused me to be born again. Once I saw a girl in a cove in St. Lucia, where the sea was as still as the blue of her eyes. Her skin was like copper, and her name was Glimmer. It is this word that comes in the watches of the night. The word I cradle in my arms like the warmth of her flesh. No man could utter a sweeter breath." He wept as we fell through the depths of a deeper ocean, came to the playgrounds of London, made our way to the quietest child, lost in the noise of a world she couldn't understand, gave her our hands, let her trace her thoughts on the flesh of our palms till she beckoned us closer, spoke the word, whisper, through the mist of our ears. We travelled like this for years. Searched every corner of every land, gathered passions in our pockets and questions in our bags, until one night we came to a cave by a sea where the moonlight coloured the walls like rain. Here we found it, quivering like a foal beneath the folds of a rock. You caught it up in your arms and held it like a child, tears dressing your cheeks like the years we'd lost. You gave it to me, its breath on your kiss. I felt a sun rise in my chest. You told me to close my eyes so you could show me the strains of the world. Thank you.